Hey guys, I'm back with another tutorial for you. Today we're going to talk about future bass chords. Now for those of you who aren't sure what I'm talking about, I'll just play a quick sample. So basically those huge chords you're hearing in a lot of drops nowadays, especially future bass drops. So first I'm going to show you how to make the sound. The sound is pretty simple. It's basically just detuned saw waves and detuned square waves. And I have the square waves tuned an octave lower than the sawtooth waves. And then I'm sending them through a low pass filter and a high pass filter. I have the sustain on my amp envelope turned all the way up so I can hold the chords down. I have my chorus turned on just to kind of beef it up. And then I have my pitch bend range set to 2, and we're gonna talk about that later. So that is the basic sound. It's very easy, and you can obviously change whatever you wanna change, but that is what we're working with here. The next thing I'm gonna show you is how to build these chords. So Propellerhead makes this super easy with their Scales and Chords player device. I have set it to G minor, and I turned the number of notes up to 4, just so I can hear some 7th chords. Now, you can go through any key scale you want, and I recommend setting the notes to 4 just so you can see which 7th chords you like. You'll find a lot of times you won't like any of the 7th chords in the key you're working in, and that's okay. You can just use regular triads and then beef them up a bit. But I found some 7th chords I like in this key. So we're just gonna go with that. So we have our chords, and now all I have to do is select send to track, and Reason will automatically bypass this player and send the MIDI to my sequencer. So I can actually delete this device, go into my sequencer, and I have my actual chords. So at this point, all we really need to do is cut these up to go along with the song. So I have my snap set to quarter notes, and I'm just gonna go through and kind of just cut out specific parts of these chords and see how it sounds. All right, so now comes the fun part, automation. So I'm just gonna go over the parameters that I'm automating in this combinator. First of all, I'm automating your classic low pass filter frequency cutoff. And I'm getting that through Pulverizer. And then I have a high pass setup, which I'm doing using the M-Class stereo imager. You can also do this with another Pulverizer if you want, or you can do it within the synth, but I'm gonna tell you why I did it this way. So I just soloed the high band, and then I have this rotary mapped to the crossover frequency. And then my secret weapon of this whole thing is the Alligator Filtered Gate. So I always have this bypassed, but I can turn it on with this button, and I'm gonna automate that button. And then one thing I did in this combinator, and this is directly inside of Thor, is this Rotary 3 LFO mod. So what this does, as you can see in this patch, I have LFO1 affecting filter 3's frequency cutoff. But the frequency of filter 3 is all the way up, and the amount isn't very high. When I turn up this rotary, the amount increases, the filter frequency decreases, so that you can really hear that wobble. And then I also have the rate, you'll see if you watch this rate changing. It's going from slow to fast. And I also have the volume of Thor increasing as well. I also decided to drive the filter a little bit, so you can see I have it at default and then I have it increasing just a little bit. So that's something that applies to Thor, but the reason why I did everything else outside of Thor is because I can easily go in and select another synth if I want and drag that synth on top of Thor, and now I have Maelstrom and I can go in and I can still do everything I wanted to do. So I'm gonna make this combinator downloadable for you guys so you guys can play with it. Just remember that this LFO mod, Rotary 3, will only work if you keep Thor in the combinator. The last thing we need to talk about is the pitch bend range. Now, the reason why I set this to 2 is because I only really want to bend the pitch of my chords 2 semitones. I don't want to get too crazy with the pitch bending. I could leave it at whatever range I want and then only move this pitch wheel 2 semitones, but if I set it to 2, then I can easily just start my automation down at the lowest point and then end it at 0, or vice versa, start at the highest point, end it at 0. So let's automate some parameters. I'm gonna go in and select Edit Automation on all of these knobs. And the pitch wheel. And then I'm just gonna draw in kind of random values. So there's my nice sliding pitch. I think I'm actually going to snap this to quarter notes. And then I know that I want to end this with a pitch bend, but I want it to bend down. So I'm just going to reverse this automation. Now I'm going to draw in some filter sweeps. So I think I want to start with a low pass sweep in. And I think I'm going to use the high pass to kind of make this chord stab in. And then I think I'm going to turn on the gator right here. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so I think I'm gonna move this here. And then I'm gonna do my little LFO modulation right here. I think I need to cut these notes. And as you start modulating parameters, you'll know over time which notes you want to cut. So then I'm going to bring in another low pass right over here. And then I think I want another gated effect right here. And then I'll do one more high pass stab. All right, I think I'll try another low pass right here. Maybe right here. Nope, I think I'll use a gator. All right, I'm replacing that with the LFO. And then I'm just gonna shorten this a tiny bit. Let's do... something like that. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys. Once again, I'm Caiti at Pyramind. Feel free to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download this combinator. If you're a music producer, subscribe to our channel and stay up to date on the latest Pyramind tutorial videos, track breakdowns, elite sessions, and more. Visit us at pyramind.com.